competition. The inaugural SuperSport Rugby Challenge is well underway, and what a way to begin, with a bumper weekend of first-round matches and an electric festival in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. The SuperSport Rugby Challenge is taking rugby back to the communities, and the masses have responded, coming out in force to embrace the tournament. The SuperSport Rugby Challenge is meaningfully contributing to the growth and development of rugby in the country. Perhaps the greatest testament to this fact is the positive feedback received by the teams in the tournament. In providing the best coverage, as our viewers have come to expect, we have included a segment in the show that will profile these teams. What better place to begin that journey than in the heart of the country, Kimberley, home of the second oldest rugby union and three-time Currie Cup champions, the Griquas.
Griquas is last year 130 years old. Western Province is only one day older than what we are. And I think from that, it's just been passed on. And then if you come to the 60s, 70s and 80s, Griquas was a very tough place to come to. There was a legacy been built on. You come to Griquas, you're going to have a tough match. You're not coming here to come and win. You have to come and play rugby. And I think there's a lot of legends in South Africa that knows what's happening at Griquas.
Yeah, it's continuing the legacy, representing the jerseys as the players before me, just keeping the Griqua name high. And, we want people to know that coming to Kimberley playing Griquas is going to be a nightmare.
Every single time you set foot on the field playing for them, you've got the first thing is you know that you've got big boots to fill, and the people out here, the people of the Cape over here, they've got so much respect for you, and they actually come out to watch you, and it's really awesome.
Current head coach Peter Engeldow joined the team 4 years ago as the Vodacom Cup coach. After being in England for 12 years, he was ecstatic to return to the land he proudly calls home, especially coming into the fold of this highly respected club. In this short period, Coach Engeldow has already tasted success and is determined to build on that in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge.
In my first year, I headed up the Vodacom team, and we managed to win it in our first year. So that was obviously a huge honour, and also a great start to my coaching career back in South Africa after being in England. But yeah, we're not going to hide behind the curtain here and say that we just want to compete. We're going out to win this competition. Obviously, it gives you momentum, it gives you confidence.
Although Griquas is one of the smaller unions in the South African rugby landscape, players that are part of the setup do enjoy benefits that some players with bigger unions may not.
So if you look at what's happening in the bigger unions, they'll have between, say, 75 to 125 players, where I only can have about 35. But the 35 have to start and they have to play today. It's not holding bags, they're playing rugby, that's the main thing.
That's what everyone wants to come and do, is obviously to get the time to play. And once you know it, you're fit enough, you're strong enough, and then you actually become much better playing for them. And it's just that week in, week out battle on the field that actually makes you hard enough to play.
Combining this valuable match-playing experience with the vision and philosophy of the coach, especially where the squad is concerned, has seen the team performing well over the past few seasons.
My philosophy is to try and keep a group of players together, hopefully for at least 3 seasons. And this will be the second year that we've got the group of players together. And I'm hoping it goes well, and we'll go into year 3 as a strong unit and making small adjustments. So the squad, we've got a lot of players who were with us last season, who are back with us. We've also got 5 players loaned out to Super Rugby who will join us after this competition when Super Rugby concludes. And we've got a lot of youngsters. We've got 4 youngsters coming in from Varsity Cup, and we've got the core of the squad together. So we're very excited about the squad.
He's very energetic. He loves his job, and his energy is, we just take from him. I like what he's doing at the moment. We have a very good relationship, mutual respect.
He loves what he does. He loves it completely. I think I came here in the beginning of August, and I felt immediately part of everything. He explained everything to me, how it works, checks in with me week in and everything. So I think what he has with the players, I think is really awesome.
In the past, Griquas have had to deal with financial difficulties that come with being one of the smaller rugby unions, but the recent signing of a sponsorship deal has helped to alleviate that burden, thus ensuring a more stable future.
We are very happy about our new sponsor. I would say that was the saving grace for Griquas as well. Let's be honest, because we had nothing last year. We were living off Saru and those type of things, and as much as we are very positive about things, the feeling we get from them as well is they are part of us as well, and we share a lot of things, the same things as well.
You know, from a sporting background, one has to have a strong foundation from where you can springboard. We just thought that the Griquas Rugby Union itself was very loyal, very strong, very true to themselves and to the sport. And this has flowed, you know, down to the players. They live for each other, they play for each other, and I think the most important thing is they enjoy doing what they do, and I think that's very important. And as a sponsor, we really, you know, feel that is part and parcel of what we should be doing.
Being part of the SuperSport Rugby Challenge is an exciting prospect for the team. They are keen to get in the match time ahead of the Currie Cup duties, but clearly this impressive trophy is also firmly in their sights.
Now that we know there's something to play for, you know, it just brings up some excitement. I think it's a great initiative. It's a great part of South African rugby development. So yeah, very excited, looking forward for the season and being part of the Supersport Association.
And also because it's the first competition, you know, it'd be nice to get your name on that trophy first up.
The SuperSport Rugby Challenge isn't just about giving teams game time. The heart of this tournament beats with the spirit of development. So, in keeping with this, SuperSport has committed to providing rugby kits to schools in the communities where the festivals will be taking place.
So we had an initiative where we were touching on schools around the communities within which we'll be playing the game. And it was really from a developmental perspective, because we truly believe that, you know, when you look at the Eastern Cape, for example, this is where the passion of rugby is. And you know that you're going to start developing these kids and the skill of rugby when they are young. And school rugby and sports at that level is very important.
We hope that this initiative will ensure that these same youngsters at the age of 10 tomorrow will ask daddy for a rugby ball and say, I'd like to play rugby. And then our structures that support it will ensure that this youngster, whether lady or guy, is one that will be a Springbok one day.
And the 50s got a benefit from the FUCA program that we had given them last year jerseys. And this initiative now from SuperSport, it's great because why? Which means now the other teams will also be able to play in proper jerseys.
Lama kids azasiza kwizinto ezininzi because bakwi games, kwi tournaments ezibaninzi kufumaniseke sidlala kayi-3 ngemini eyi-1 and then kufuneka sitshintshile ikids. Siyabulela kakhulu ngekids kwaye zintle kakhulu.
Apart from the kits, youngsters from the area were given tickets to attend matches so that they could see their heroes up close and personal, a chance that many would not otherwise have.
Today I've seen youngsters ages of 10 and 9 walking around that we've invited, we've given match day tickets to come and actually enjoy the day with us. They don't get to see Western Province against EP play in such community stadiums ever. We've brought rugby to them.
What we have seen in the past is a gradual slowdown in the take-up of rugby among our youth. And I think if I just look around here, the number of youngsters around, I think if 100 kids after today decide to take up rugby, I think this would have been a worthwhile experience.
Development-wise and for giving the schools this opportunity to be part of this program means a lot for the new generation to revive rugby in this area, more especially in the disadvantaged areas.
Si happy kakhulu ubukela live because siqhele ubukela e-TV isikakhulu. Ngoku siyabona ukuba no ba-big as players.
My name is Sibylle Elam. I go by the name Usia, that's my nickname. And the position I play flank, play both open side and blind side, and the captain of the Bulldogs. I started playing rugby in Mthatha. I'm the first one to play rugby in my family. I watched World Cup 1995, watching John Alumo, running over guys, and that's where I saw that, I can actually try this thing. I went to Ikwezi Technical Skill Center. It's a technical high school, Ikwezi, in Mthatha. It's a small school, so we really never played in those big festivals. We played Love Life games. We played Usasa games, I think. So we never actually got to compete against the traditional rugby schools. So I've been playing in the townships most of my life, and then I played age group rugby for Border Country District in Mthatha. After I finished matric, I went to KZN. I went straight to the Sharks Academy. That's where I played Sharks age group rugby. Played Sharks under 19 2007, end of 2009. I went to Potchefstroom, played rugby for the Northwest University, played Varsity Cup for 3 years, and I got a stint at the Leopards. I got to think about a couple of games there in the Premier Division. Then I came down to Border. Jerry Collins, man. Jerry Collins, I liked his style because he was really physical. I felt that was a big attribute in my game. I like to, I like the physical part of the game. So Jerome Kano and Jerry Collins, those are the guys that I looked up to. I played in a lot of those big stadiums, especially when I was in Durbs. Kings Park, I think, Kings Park is one of the best stadium I played in. It will give me, once again, a platform to showcase my talent, and working with an awesome group like I am now. It will help with the leadership skills. It will help with getting the scouts out there to check and see how we're playing at Border. And I always look at it in a bigger picture, in a sense that it won't only impact my career in a positive way, but with a lot of guys. And obviously the upcoming guys from age group rugby into the senior side, I think it's a good platform for them to be introduced to professional rugby. And I like the fact that they now taking rugby into the communities. Like we're going to be playing the festivals now in the townships and stuff. So I like the fact that they involve now people who are not in central towns, like the people who are living in the locations. And more than anything, just giving a platform for guys to showcase their talents. Guys that are coming from age group rugby, club rugby, and those that miss out on Super Rugby selection. Future goals is playing Super Rugby. Want to play Super Rugby and be have a season there and be consistent, like be in the team. In a week in and week out. So that's my goal. And anything after that, then things will take care of themselves.
Stay with us, as after the break, we bring you thrilling action from the first round matches in the SuperSport Rugby Challenge. The South Sea Sharks 15 hosted the traditionally strong Griquas from Kimberley at Growth Point Kings Park in the first round of the inaugural SuperSport Rugby Challenge. The visitors had finally wrapped up 4 months of pre-season training and provided plenty of entertainment in what was the curtain raiser to the Sharks Rebels Super Rugby clash. Odwa Ndungane captained the Sharks 15, having not been involved in Super Rugby yet this year, while the likes of Sbura Sithole and Namibian international Johan Deisel provided plenty of experience in the Sharks' backline. The hosts struggled to contain the fired-up Griquas, who got stuck into the relatively inexperienced Sharks pack. The Durban outfit only managed to score 1 try, which their skipper Ndungane sparked. Loose head prop Juan Skuman rounded off the try, and there's no doubt he enjoyed his trot over the try line. That was about as good as it got for the Sharks, as the Griquas ran in 4 tries of their own, mainly thanks to their dominance up front. They managed to force a penalty try from a maul, while wing Enver Brandt snatched an intercept and ran the length of the field to end the Sharks' hopes of drawing level late in the game. The visitors also scored a late try after the hooter to secure a vital bonus point that ensured a full house of log points. The performance was all the more impressive considering it was away from home. Home ground advantage didn't count for much for the down-touch Griffins on Saturday, as they hosted a strong Leopards outfit in Welkom. The visitors all but decided the game in the first half, running in 3 of their 4 tries in the first 40 minutes of the game. They looked to move the ball around the park and stretch the host's defense, which left plenty of space for their backs to work their magic. Leopards wing Jean Willemse was in fine form and ran in 2 tries of his own, while fly half Skalk Hugo scored a try, 3 conversions and a penalty to notch up 14 points for his side. The Griffins didn't capitulate and continued to search for the try line, but a couple of chances didn't go their way. They stayed in the fight and scored 2 tries in the second half, which brought them within 12 points of the winners. But a final try from Leopards flank Loftus Morrison put the final nail in the coffin and also sealed a valuable bonus point victory away from home. The Griffins' only consolation from that defeat is that they managed to secure a better points difference than the Sharks 15, which leaves them in 3rd place in the central log.
I'm definitely happy. I think coming to Welkom is always, we knew it was going to be difficult. But I must say the boys really stuck to what we prepared, and we're happy for the first win.
The Valka and Namibian outfit Windhoek Lager Wildwitches battled it out in the Kempton Park heat on Saturday afternoon. Both teams seemed to enjoy the hot, dry conditions as the game produced 12 tries in total. The visiting Namibians seemed to have a point to prove as the foreigners in the competition, and they produced some exciting running rugby. Valka wing Etienne Talliard ran in 2 of his own tries, while Warren Potgieter kicked 6 conversions and a penalty to amass a personal tally of 15 points. The lead on the scoreboard continually changed hands in the first half, as both teams tested each other's defense. The favorable conditions on the day allowed the teams to spread the ball wide, and the Wildwitches found themselves in the lead at half-time. The Valkas seemed far more settled in the second half and made better use of their possession. They exploited gaps in the Namibian side's defense and scored some scintillating tries, while they also made the most of turnover ball. They will be happy to have come away with 5 log points and a win at home, which the Sharks, Bulls and Eastern Province weren't able to do. Meanwhile, the Wildwitches won't be too disappointed with the result, given that they scored 4 tries away from home in the first match of the competition.
It was a strong performance from us, one we're very pleased with, and for us to score 4 tries as well is a first for a very long time. So I'm very, very pleased in lots of respects, but then to put 50 on the board is just a bit too much, and perhaps didn't reflect.
The Pumas travelled to their neighbours, the Blue Bulls, in what was officially the first match of the SuperSport Rugby Challenge. The early Saturday kickoff didn't disappoint, as the visitors put on an impressive display against the hosts at Loftus Versfeld. The Bulls had a good first half and scored the first try of the game from a long sweeping move down the left touchline through left wing Smahle Makwani. The Bulls held on to a tight 13-9 lead until half-time, but the visitors came out firing after the break. The Pumas forward pack made a massive statement in the second half, with the big driving maul getting them over the line not long after half-time. The Bulls seemed shell-shocked, but managed to answer back through a nifty try from outside centre Devan Rousseau. The Pumas then continued where they left off and went on to score another 2 tries from mauls, with one being scored from 20 metres out. The other sides in the competition will do well to be wary of the Pumas forward pack this season. The Bulls will be bitterly disappointed with the loss at home, and their forwards will be hurting after such a dominant display from the visitors. On the flip side, the Pumas come away with 5 points away from home and will carry plenty of confidence into their clash with the Lions. Pumas coach Brent Jans van Rensburg said his team did well to bounce back after a tight first half.
we pulled it together, and we looked at keeping the ball a bit more in the second half. I do still think we need to have a bit more patience going forward with ball in hand. I think we coughed the ball up a bit too easily at times, but all in all, a much improved performance. A lot of fight by the guys. You can see that they wanted it, and that for me is the most important thing. But we just got to remain hungry to keep improving every week, because there's still a lot of work to do.
In the most tightly contested match of the weekend, Border Bulldogs and the Boland Cavaliers got stuck into each other in the first match of the double-header rugby festival in KwaZakele, Port Elizabeth on Sunday. There were around 10,000 fans packed into the Wolfson Stadium for the afternoon's rugby action. There wasn't much between the two teams, and both sides looked to move the ball around the park, which led to a festival of tries. Former Cheetahs fly half Elgar Watts marshalled his Boland teammates around the park and helped set up a couple of tries for his side in the first 10 minutes of the match. Both wings, Charles Mayeza and Boland legend Danville Diamas, scored to give their side an early lead. Boland scored a third try in the first half and looked set to run away with victory, but the Bulldogs weren't out of reach at half-time, trailing 20 points to 14 thanks to 2 tries of their own. Border continued to put pressure on Boland in the second half and looked excellent on attack. They moved the ball around the park, attacked freely on counter-attack, and scored 2 crucial tries, which put them into the lead. Boland 8th man Zandre Jordan, who was a real contender for man of the match, scored a late try in the match to draw them within 3 points of victory at full time. The try was more than a consolation though, as it secured a losing bonus point, giving them 2 points on the log. Border walked away from the clash with a full 5 log points as they prepare to face Western Province next week. The weekend SuperSport Rugby Challenge action wrapped up with a highly anticipated clash between the EP Kings and Western Province. The main match of the Sunday Rugby Festival at the Wolfson Stadium lived up to expectations as both teams struggled for dominance. Both lineups featured some big-name players, with the likes of Johan de Toy, the brother of Springbok lock Peter Steff, and former Sharks scrum half Stefan Ongora standing out for Province and the Kings respectively. Eastern Province made the most of a Western Province yellow card in the first half and went into the break with a 3-point lead thanks to tries from Sianda Gray and Ongora. The Kings seemed to lose their heads in the second half, and ill discipline ended up costing them the game. Despite Sianda Gray being showed a yellow card 10 minutes into the second half, Eastern Province built on their lead as Jiximo Lapo scored a sneaky try down the left wing. But the overlap cost them soon after, as Province scored 2 tries in quick succession while Gray sat in the naughty chair. It wasn't to be their only card, as reserve flank Christian de Bruyn was also sent off in the last 10 minutes, which allowed Province to crash over their 4th try, which secured a crucial bonus point. The Kings will be kicking themselves for their poor discipline as they walked away from the match empty-handed. The first weekend of the SuperSport Challenge Cup treated fans to some entertaining running rugby. All 6 winning teams claimed bonus point victories, with over 40 tries being scored in the opening round of fixtures. Hino Valka's massive win over the Walwitchiers sent them to the top of the North Section log. Pumas also grabbed 5 points, while the Namibian outfit managed to secure a losing bonus point, which leaves them in 3rd place. The Central Section log really looks like it will be the group of death. The Griquas made a massive statement by beating the Sharks 15, which rocketed them to the top of the log. The Leopards also grabbed a full 5 points with their win over the Griffins. The Sharks have nothing to show after their loss and have a lot of work to do to catch up with those teams. And the Free State Cheetahs 15 haven't even played yet. The South Section log is the most tightly contested after round 1. Western Province's win over the EP Kings put them on top, while Border also have 5 points after their win over Boland. However, Boland managed to grab 2 points in that defeat for scoring 4 tries and losing by less than 7 points. After a bye, the SWD Eagles get their Supersport Challenge Cup campaign off to a start on Friday night when they host the EP Kings. On Saturday, the Free State Cheetahs 15 begin their tournament with a clash at home against the Griffins, who will look to avoid back-to-back defeats. The Grippers will host the Leopards in what could be the clash of the day. The Blue Bulls cross the South African border to take on the Windhoek Lager Wildwatchers in Namibia. The Pumas will enjoy home ground advantage when they take on the Golden Lions, who make their first appearance in the competition. Western Province will take on the Border Bulldogs in front of the Newlands faithful in the final match of round 2. That's it for this episode. Remember to tune in next week for the latest SuperSport Rugby Challenge updates. Only on your channel of champions, SuperSport.
New season, new game plan.